Good day everyone, my name is Mr. Ademujimi Adedotun, and this class is brought to you by Isaac Humanitarian Foundation. What we're looking at is a particular subtopic under differentiation, which is titled chain rule. Chain rule or function of functions. When you say chain rules or function of function, chain rule or function of function, take note. What is chain rule? We have dy, that's dy over what? Over dx. Dy over dx is equals to dy over what? Over du times du over dx. This is what we call function of function, or we call it for chain rule. Such that what we have at this side is equal to what we have at this side, okay? Because this and this will kill. Let's assume that this and this cancel to be left with what dy over dx, which is also what equals to this. So this is what we call chain rule. Chain rule, or we call it a function of function. Are we together? Are we together? So we're going to be looking at chain rule there. So let's go. Example 1 under this. Question 1. Under differentiate 2x plus 3 all raised to power 2. Differentiate 2x plus 3 all raised to power 2 with respect to x. With respect to what? To x. We want to differentiate 2x plus 3 all raised to the power of 2 with respect to what? To x. With respect to x, we can say let y equals to 2x plus 3 all raised to the power of what? All raised to the power of 2. All raised to the power of 2. All raised to the power of what? All raised to the power of 2. Y equals to 2x plus 3 all raised to the power of 2. So from here we can say let u equals what? 2x plus 3. Okay? Let u equals 2x plus 3, meaning that y will be equals to u raised to power 2. Y equals to u raised to power what? U raised to power 2. U raised to power 2. So from there we can have what? Dy over du equals to, that is y with respect to u. Y with respect to u. So that will give us what? 2u. That will give us 2u. Y with respect to u, that's 2u. Okay? So we can have what? U with respect to x. U with respect to x. That will give you what? Du over what? Over dx equals to what? This will give you 2. Okay? This will give you what? 2. Because if you differentiate 2x is 2, the derivative of 2x is 2. Why this is what? Is constant. Is constant because it does not have any variable. So the derivative of this constant term is 0. The derivative is what? Is 0. So 0 means nothing. So we can as well put what? Plus 0. Okay, plus 0, which means the u dx is this. Okay, that is u with respect to x. Okay, we can recall that what? That dy over dx equals to what? Dy upon du times du upon what? Upon dx, which is equals to, what's dy du? Dy du is what? Is 2u times du dx. What's du dx? Du dx is what? Is 2. Okay, that will give us what? 4u. That's dy over what? Over dx. Okay? But u equals to what? U equals to 2x plus what? Plus 3. Therefore, dy over what? Over dx will be equal to what? 4 into bracket u. That's 2. That's 2x plus 3. So this is the derivative of 2x plus 3 all raised to the power of what? All raised to the power of of 2. I'll take that again. If you have y equals to 2x plus 3 all raised to the power 2, say let u equals to what? Equals to 2x plus 3. Okay? Then if u equals to 2x plus 3, it means that we can have y to be equals to u. Since this is the value of u, so we can have u raised to the power 2. Okay? So what will be the y here? The y du. That is, we differentiate y with respect to what? To the domain function. In this case now, u is acting as what? The domain function. That is what? The independent variable of what? Of y. So this will be the y over here. That is this with respect to this. dy with respect to what? To u. That is the y du equals to what? Take this one to the front. That becomes what? 2u. So du dx is equals to what? This is u and this is what? X. So u with respect to what? To x. That becomes what? 2. We differentiate that and recall that the chain function from the chain what? Chain function, or you call it what? Function of functions. So we can have 2 dy dx, du dx is 2 what? dy du is 2u times du dx is what? Is 2. Then 2 times 2, 2u times 2 is what? Is 4u. But u is equals to 2x plus 3. So let's look at what? Method 2. The z method now. So you can decide to pick any of the two. Alright. Method 2. We have y to be equals to what? 2 what? 2x plus 3. All raised to the power of what? Of 2. And we want to find dy dx. That is, we want to differentiate y with respect to what? With respect to x. To solve this is very, very simple. We need to want to identify what we call the core function. What we call the core function. Core function is what? What we have in the what? In the bracket is what we call core function. The CF, that is the core function, is 2x plus 3. Take note that the core function is what we have in the what? In the bracket. That is C, that is CF, that is the core function, equals to 2x plus 3. So we want to differentiate this now. We can have the y over what? Over the x to be equals to what? Take this to the front. That becomes 2 times the derivative of what? Of the core function. The derivative of what? Of the core function. That is, differentiate this. 2x plus 3, that will give us 2 into bracket. What do you have here? 2x plus 3 all raised to the power 2 minus 1. Okay, so that becomes 2 times 2, that's 4 into bracket. What do you have here? 2x plus 1 plus 3. So that will be the y dx. Differentiate your core function. What you have in the bracket is what we call core function. Then use your normal differentiation again. We have x becoming the what? The coefficient. Then this minus 1. Minus 1 is constant. Minus 1 is constant. Very, very constant. So let's look at this question 2. Question 2. Question 2. Question 2. If y is equals to, for x squared plus 3x all raised to power 4, find dy dx. Okay? In order to find dy dx, we need to use what? Function of functions. Function of functions or chain rule. Chain rule. So from here we can say let y equals to what? Let u equals to 4x squared plus what? Plus 3x. Let u equals to 4x squared plus 3x. So what will be du dx? Du dx will give us what? That will give 8x plus 3. 8x plus 3. So that will be du with respect to x. U with respect to that will be du over what? Over dx. That will be 8x plus 3. Okay? So we can have y to be equals to what? Y will be equals to u to the power of 4. U to the power of what? Of 4. So from there we can have dy. We have u to be equals to what? Y equals to u to the power of what? Of 4. So we can have dy upon du to be equals to 4u raised to power 3. Okay? Recall that what? That dy dx equals to what? du dx times what? dy du, or dy du times du dx. Okay, so this is the function of functions, or the chain rule. The chain rule. Okay, so what's dy dx? Therefore, dy upon dx equals to what's du dx? Du dx is 8x plus 3 times, that's times dy du. What's dy du? Dy du is what? Is 4u cubed. That's 4u raised to power 3. So that becomes what? 4u cubed into bracket 8x plus 3. Okay? But u is equals to what? U is equals to 4x cubed, so 4x squared plus 3x. So you can have therefore dy over dx equals to, this will be 4 into bracket u is what? 4x squared plus 3x all raised to power what? 3 into bracket 8x plus what? Plus 3. This is the derivative of y equals to 4x squared plus 3x all raised to power 4. Okay, so now u equals to this. We make u to represent this 4x squared plus 3x. Then you differentiate x with respect, or you differentiate u with respect to x. This will act as well the domain function. The domain function of u. The domain function, that is the independent. This is the independent variable. So you differentiate this with respect to this. So that becomes u dx equals to 8x plus 3. Okay? Since let y equals to this, it means that let u equals to this. It means that anywhere we see u, we put what? Anywhere we see 4x squared plus 3x, we put what? U. Okay, y equals to u raised to power 4. Okay? So we need to differentiate y with respect to u. So that will be the y equals to 4 u raised to power 3. So recall from here that this equals to this. Okay? Therefore the y dx equals to what? Equals to this times this. But u equals to what? 4x squared plus 3x. We borrowed what? U. Then we need what? To return it back. So we have to return back the value of u, which we know that what? U is equals to what? U equals to 4x what? 4x squared plus 3x. So we substitute in the value of u. So as 4x squared plus 3x all raised to the power of 3 as a result of what? The power of u. So now this into bracket this. Okay? So let's look at what? Other method. This method is good for what? For post-jam students, post-UTME students. Method 2. Method 2. Method 2. Method 2. So let's look at this method 2. We know that y equals to what? Y is equals to 4x what? 4x squared plus 3x. All raised to the power of what? All raised to the power of 4. And we have to find the y dx, the y dx, the y dx, the fast approach method. Okay? Let's look at this. First of all, you need to get what to call what? The core function. That is the core function. You need to know what the core function is. Don't forget that I said the core function is what we have in the what? In the bracket. So anything that you have in the bracket is what we call the core function, which is Cn. So what's the core function? The core function is 4x squared plus 3x. Okay, that's the core function. So differentiate the core function. Find the derivative of the core function. The derivative of the core function will be equals to 4x squared will be equals to 8x plus what? Plus 3. Take note. This will be the what? The derivative of the core function. That's the derivative of the core function. That is 8x plus 3. To differentiate this is very simple. I've explained this. Take this 2 to the front. That becomes 4 times 2. That's 8. Take away 1 from the power. That becomes 1. Isn't it? Plus differentiate 3x. Derivative of 3x is 3. Just as you have derivative of x to be 1, 2x is 2. Derivative of 3x is 3. 4x is 4. 5x is 4 is 5. 6x is 6. Derivative of 1 million x is 1 million. Okay? Just take away the what? You just remove the x. So derivative of 3x is what? Is 3. Please take note. Then we can now add what? Therefore, dy over dx will be equals to, okay? Now look at this now. This is the question. Take this one to the back. That becomes what? 4. Take it to the front. That becomes 4. Into bracket, what do you have here? 4x raised to power 2 plus what? Plus 3. That will be 4 minus 1. That's 3. Times the derivative of what? The core function. This is the derivative of the core function, which is what? 8x plus what? Plus 3. So that becomes what? 4 into bracket 4x squared plus 3 all raised to power 3 into bracket 8x plus 3. This is dy dx. So that's what the second approach. You can see. See, same what? Same answer. But I will advise you not to use this A when you are dealing with what? With theory, please. In theory, you must not use this. Okay? In also, you will lose some marks. But in OBJ, you can use this. You use this for OBJ. While in theory, please follow this process. Use the first method. Okay? Of course, you know that marks will be what? Allotted by what? Each what? Step. Each step is step by step. Please don't use this. You can only use this method in OBJ. You are writing jam or post jam. But for WAEC students, please use this. Use the other method, the first method. Okay? Let's move further to product function. Product function or product rule. Product function or product rule. Product function or product rule. Product function. Product function. Product function. When you say product means multiplication. That is times multiplication. When you say product, it means multiplication. So you can have this if y equals to uv. If y equals to uv. If y equals to uv. So we can have dy over what? Over dx. Equals to what? Equals to u dv dx plus v du dx. These are called product function. This is a product function, not formula, please. Not formula. This is product function. Product function. U dv dx plus v du dx plus v du dx. Plus v du dx. So let's look at what the proof for this. Proof. Okay? If y equals to uv, dy dx is this. So let's look at the proof for this. Okay? So y equals to what? uv. Y equals to uv. Okay? We can deduce this from where? From the first principle by saying what? Let there be increasing y by changing y and increasing u by changing u. And also increasing v by what? By changing v. So this will become y plus what? Plus increasing what? In y. Let there be increasing y by changing y. Or increasing y. Okay? That's dy. That's dy. And also increasing what? In u. That will be u plus du into bracket v plus what? dv. Okay? So this will be equals to, open the bracket, that will be u times v, that will give us what? uv u times dv, that will be plus u changing what? Changing v. You use this to multiply all what you have in the bracket, that gives this. U times v is uv, u times changing v, that's plus u changing v. Then you move to the next one. This will be plus changing u times v. That will be what? V change in what? Changing u. Okay? Plus changing u times this. That will be changing u. Changing what? Changing v. Alright? So that will give dy, y plus what? Plus changing y. Okay? Take this to the other side. That becomes what? That becomes dy, that's changing y equals to what they have uv plus u dv plus v changing u plus du dv minus y. Minus y. What's the value of y? Y is uv. Okay? This and this will go. This and this will go. So we left with what? To be left with dy equals to what? Equals to u dv plus v what? Du. That's v changing u plus what? Plus changing what? U changing what? V. The next thing is what? Is to divide through by what? Divide both sides by changing what? Changing v. Changing x. Divide through by what? By the x. Divide through by what? By this. Okay? That becomes what? That becomes dy, that's changing y, over changing x, equals to what they are. This will be u changing what? Changing v over changing what? X plus v changing u over what? Over changing x, okay? Plus changing what? Changing u, changing v, everything over what? Changing x, okay? So the next thing is what? Leave changing x tends to 0, changing v, and changing what? U tends to what? To 0. So everything here will become what? 0. So this will become, therefore, dy over what? Over dx will be equals to what? U dv over what? Over dx plus v du over what? Dx. So this is the proof for product function. This is the rule for the proof for product what? Product function, or you call it product rule. Okay? Let's look at one example under that. Question 1. If y equals to 2x minus 3 into bracket x plus, that's x squared plus 5. Find dy dx. If y equals to 2x minus 3, bracket close and bracket open, x squared plus 5, bracket what? Close. Then we need to differentiate between u and v. Okay? You can say what? Let u equals to this and let this be v. Okay? You can also pick what? You can pick this to be v or this to be u. Because u times v is the same thing as v times u. So anyone can be your what? Your v, while anyone can be what? Your u. Okay? So let's go there. So this will becomes what? It means that u is what? U is equals to 2x minus 3 and v is equals to what? X squared plus what? Plus 5. Okay? So in the formula now, in the function, we need what? We need the dx. So we need du also over the x. Du dx will give us 2. Okay? If we differentiate, 1x is 1, 2x is 2, 3x is 3, 4x is 4, 5x is 5, 1 million x is what? Is 1 million. So differentiate 2x is 2. So this is the word constant. Minus 3 is a constant. I've explained that. It has no variable. So the derivative of what of that minus 3 is 0. So dv dx, dv dx will be equal to what? This will give you what? 2x. Okay? That's 2x. This is 0. This is 0. This will give 0. So there's no need of what? Of, because the derivative of 5 is 0, of course. We know that this is constant. It's constant. Alright? So recall that the y upon the x equals to u dv dx plus v du d1 dx. Okay, this will be equals to what's the value of u? U is what? 2x minus 3 times dv dx. What's dv dx? dv dx is 2x plus what's v? V is x squared. X raised to the power 2 plus 5 times du dx. Du dx is 2. Okay? That becomes what? That gives you what you have. Open the bracket. That's something as 2x into bracket 2x minus 3 plus what the appendix is 2 into bracket x squared plus 5. Okay? Equals to, this is not your final answer. Open the bracket. This will give you what? 4x raised to the power 2. Yes or no? Yes. Minus 4 times what? Sorry, 2 times minus 3. That's minus 6x. Yes or no? Yes. Plus 2 times this will give you what? 2x squared. 2 times 5 is what? Is 10. Okay? Side it up. dy dx over what? dx. 4x squared plus 2x squared. That is 6x squared. Followed by what? Minus 6x plus 10. This will give us what? The answer that we are looking for. Okay? That is the derivative of what? Of 2x minus 3 and x squared plus 5. When you have something like this, the sign joining the two brackets together is what we call what? Product. Is multiplication sign. Is multiplication sign. That's product. That's what we call it a product function. Please take note. Product function. Product function. Please take note. Thank you and God bless you.